Who
This
would like to
conference
share
will now
something?
be recorded.
Yeah, we are recording, and then it will be saved on the town website. We'll give it to Jim Cameron to save it on how he usually does it with TV79. I hope everybody's safe and coping well with what's been going on. Is there anything anybody'd like to share about how they've been coping, or everybody doing okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for helping out. All the various subcommittees, or a lot of them, have been virtually meeting, and my phone has been working on all these subcommittee meetings. So the Weed Beach committee's been meeting, Anniversary Day, Heritage Day, and the Time Capsule. All these groups have been meeting, and we've been coming up with some alternate plans that we'd like to discuss and actually take action on. I got permission from the town to hold this virtual meeting, really to discuss and take action on our plans for the rest of the year. So I've shortened the agenda to focus really on that. However, at the end of the agenda, there's a general discussion, so that'll be open for anybody or any issue that anybody wants to talk about. So let's first do the approval of meetings. We've got February meetings and March meetings to do. And just so this is recorded, this meeting is the Darien 2020 Bicentennial Committee meeting. It's being held on Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. We're doing this virtually at 11 o'clock. So February meetings, I hope everybody has had a chance to see them. The committee members, has everybody read them? Does anybody need some time to read February's meeting minutes? Everybody said, is there a motion?
All good.
Sorry, go on. Go on, Sarah. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve the minutes. Yes.
And is there a second?
A second.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Raise their hand. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no.
Aye.
Is there any abstention? And February's minutes of the Bicentennial Committee has been unanimously approved. And now we also have to approve March meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look them over?
Yeah.
Anybody needs an extra minute or two? No? Is there a motion to approve?
Moved. Moved.
Okay, and there's
Seconded.
a second?
Second.
Okay, is there anybody who, hi, Jim.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
So there's a motion to, that's okay, there's a motion to approve March 11th minutes for the Darien Bicentennial Committee. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Or raise their hand.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Any abstentions? So February or the March minutes for the Bicentennial Committee meeting has
Hey,
been
Al,
unanimously approved.
this
Yes?
is Kate. I wasn't at the March meeting, so I don't know that I can vote to approve.
Yeah, so you
but-
would correct. You would abstain. So there's
Oh, then
one
I would
abstention.
have to also.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Sarah, Keena. I was not at
Oh,
March.
Sarah. Okay. Right. So Sarah's abstaining as well.
And I wasn't either. Mia. Sorry.
He's
I was
abstaining
there.
as well.
Cheryl,
Group of us.
this is Cheryl Williams. I wasn't there either.
Okay. But it still is approved.
Okay.
Good. So I'd like to move right ahead then with the plans for the rest of the year. Just so everybody's coming up to speed, the Memorial Day parade has been canceled. The Selleck Woods Festival has been canceled as well.
It's
And-
postponed at this time, so we're going to attempt to
Postponed.
host it in the fall, as of now.
And has there been a decision on the fireworks, Susan?
They also have been canceled / postponed. I guess officially postponed, right, Jamie? It's not a, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Postponed to 2021.
Wow.
From
even
2021.
Totally postponed.
So I guess the push-pull parade also was canceled.
I don't think they've made an official on that, but I'm assuming that will be, yeah, because that's the day of the fireworks. So yes, I would say that would be canceled / postponed, yeah.
Sad.
Yes, the subcommittee for the Reed Beach Festival has been meeting a few times, and we've come up with some great alternate plans. Jamie, do you want to address them?
Yes, so we are going to attempt to host a virtual Weed Beach Fest this year. This will not, well, based on your vote today, this will not be the Bicentennial Bash. We'll postpone that and host that in 2021. We're gonna try to have some fun with it and host like 2021 more time. And so I think, I really think that's the right thing to do if that's what you guys decide to vote for, but we still didn't want to steal a celebration away from the community. So we're gonna try to host a virtual event. We're working with some local bands to host a musical hour, and we're hoping to partner with both, hopefully, DAF Media and also TV or Channel 79 to broadcast footage as well as on the local TV station. So this is all kind of a work in progress, but we have a lot of different ideas to still engage the community and use social media to have them post different activities that we have going on and do some virtual things similar to how we're doing our virtual programming right now. So hopefully we can pull this all together and still bring the community together while staying apart.
So thank you, Jamie. I think that's a great thing what they're doing. So just to be really, really specific, and this is a vote we'll have to take, since they're not having an actual Weed Beach Festival, the subcommittee for the Bicentennial Commission has decided or is recommending that we hold the official Bicentennial Weed Beach Festival in 2021, or as Jamie said, 2021 more time. So it will be postponed until next year. So I will have to take a vote on that, to actually postpone it till next year. Is there a motion to
I'll make a motion to.
Seconded.
Everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Raise your hand. Any,
Aye.
anybody say nay? Any abstentions? Okay, then it's universally passed or unanimously passed to have the official Bicentennial Birthday Bash in 2001. And Lori has been reaching out to our sponsors and Jamie as well, kind of giving them a heads up on what's coming up, because they have a big part to play in the birthday bash. They have booths and publicity and everything like that. So far, Lori, I think everybody's okay with it, all our sponsors. I know you've been doing some hard work reaching out to them. Okay, good.
Yes.
So the next thing on the agenda.
Al, can I just say, I just really want to applaud, Jamie for, just moving ahead with this kind of unique idea to do it virtually and not just canceling. I think it's going to be really great for the community. And thank you very much for taking this on.
Yay, Jamie.
Thank you.
Jamie has been jamming. Like, even though everyone's in lockdown, Jamie's been like almost working harder. So thank you, Jamie.
I think she has been. I think
you.
all the town employees, probably almost all the town employees have been working harder. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate, and other people in the town have said, they really appreciate what the town has been doing in this pandemic. So that's good. So the next order of business is to talk about Anniversary Day. So that was to be held on June 12th, which is the official anniversary of the town. And there is a subcommittee that's been meeting with, also with that, Cindy and Rupa are on that. And they've decided also to postpone that until June 12th of 2021. That is on a Saturday. We thought that nobody knows what's going to go on for the rest of the summer, as well as the fall, if things are going to open up in the fall. I've notified I'm not sure if Kathleen Love is on the phone. but she's the representative of the Daughters of the American Revolution. So I've kind of given her a heads up that that's our recommendation, to have it next year on June 12th. June 12th is the Saturday, so that's pretty good as well. The Weed Beach Festival would be on June 5th, which is on the previous Saturday. So June 5th for the Weed Beach Festival, and then June 12th for the anniversary day. We have done some work. The actual cemetery, I went with the landscapers. It's been cleared. We did a lot of work on getting the tent up. It's not up now, but they had to trim a lot of the branches to actually fit the tent. And we're working on redoing the sign as well. But all that should be postponed until next year. So that also has to have a vote. So is there a motion to postpone, Maggie?
Yeah, I move.
Yes.
To postpone it. And as second, Sarah? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any opposed say no or nay. Any abstentions? Great. So the last order of business is Heritage Day. So that's going to take place, was going to take place, or is going to take place on October 24th. We're planning to do that with the Historical Society and with the Mather House. And that still is on track, done this year. So we haven't made any contingency plans or anything for that. We'll have to see how things shake out for the rest of the year for that.
Do we, I have a question. Does Jamie or Al, I mean, I'm just curious, do we have any, and I think the answer is no, but we don't have any idea if things will be remotely back to be able to do something like that in the fall? Like, it would be really neat if we could have it, and might be one of the first events we could all come together, but I don't know if I'm just crazy optimistic, which maybe I am. Realistic, I don't know.
Can I speak to that?
Sure.
May I speak to that? Yeah. I'm Karen Bocadero, and one of the groups that was going to be quite involved in this is the reenactment group that I belong to, the 5th Connecticut. So Al, we did have a meeting and we talked about an alternate day. So then the board meeting I had with the reenactment group, we came up, if October is not doable, we came up with the weekend of May 15th, 16th, 2021.
Ooh, okay.
Because Maggie was asking about possibly doing it in the spring if we couldn't do it in the fall. So looking at our schedule and, like Mother's Day and stuff like that, May 15th, 16th, 2021 was the alternate date that we came up with. That's a day and a rain date also.
That sounds great. Or
So
is that?
did everybody get that? Karen, not officially yet. Karen's the lead for the Heritage Day, and she's also in charge of the 5th Regiment, who is going to do all the reenactments. So we were going to have about 20 reenactors. They were going to do a skirmish at Mather House as well. So October 24th is not doable. So the alternate day would be May 15th to May 16th. Should I open it up to a discussion, Maggie? How do you feel about this?
Karen, you mentioned that it wasn't around Mother's Day of next year. There's no.
I know the Mother's Day would be the week before. I've looked at the calendar.
Okay.
Something else is the weekend before too. That might be my personal schedule. Yeah, but Mother's Day was the weekend before. This is, which we thought would not be a good weekend to do something like that. We're still go for October 24th, 25th if things loosen up. But, we had talked about the potential of not being able to do that. And Maggie and Al, and I forget who else, we talked about it. And we said we would make a decision by the beginning of August.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can I raise my?
Susan Kaden? Absolutely, go on, Susan.
My thought is maybe everything for the bicentennial celebration should be in 2021, so it is piecemeal. And everything is moved and it gives it all that much more hoopla and substance. It's just a thought.
Yeah, you know, I
Hi.
kind of agree with that. It'd be like nice to have the consistency of doing it all in 1 year. And then on the other hand, sometimes I think we should do something this year. Otherwise, we had the opening ceremony, but it would be nice to do something in the fall.
It's a tough decision.
Yeah, I know. Why don't we just mull it over for a month or two, and then the next meeting we can make a decision. Is that okay, Karen? Yeah, things change. It seems from day to day. Things kind of widely fluctuate. What Karen? I'm sorry.
On the 5th Connecticut's calendar, both sets of dates are on the 5th Connecticut calendar, so.
Okay, great. Thank you, Karen.
Karen, are you good with that? Leaving this decision for a month or so, see what happens. But I think that's a great alternate. I don't think, Maggie, do you agree? We really shouldn't have it without the 5th Regiment. They're a huge part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't imagine doing it without you guys.
Right.
So, okay.
And yeah,
so
this is Mia. Mather, hi. Did you hear me?
Hi, Mia. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll totally make any other date work. So whatever happens, we'll figure it out. But I agree, the regiment's very important. So.
Thank you, Mia.
Is May? I know that is a year away, but is there something going on in May where you would absolutely say we can't have it in May, or is it pretty open now? Do you think?
Are you speaking to me, Al? Sorry.
Yeah, at Mather House.
Mather?
Is there anything in May that you're saying that we can't do it in May?
No, we usually have a speaker in May, and we do have our speaker coming in October. We spoke a couple of weeks ago. He's still coming, planning on it, but we'll see what happens. But we have nothing planned big on the calendar for May, so that's good.
Excuse me, it's Laura here. The only big May event that you would want to stay away from if it's family oriented would be the Henley Happening, and that's usually the Saturday before Mother's Day. So we're not Mother's Day weekend.
Well, that's why we stayed away from that altogether that weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. So I think we'll postpone that decision for a month or two. And as far as, we do have a 3rd EDDM mailing going out, but we're not going to take action on that until some of these things really gel, I don't think. So that sounds okay. As far as the time capsule, we did meet. Caroline, do you want to kind of go over what's been going on with that?
Yeah, so the time capsule just got even more important because we're definitely going to want to capture what happened in this year. So we are putting together a timeline in terms of publicity and who we'll be reaching out to. But the main components are we will be asking each of the schools to contribute something, and then doing a community response, so putting out the opportunity for community members to submit by a Google form or something, like their reflections from the year, and then we'll put that into some kind of book. And then also getting photos from, I know Jamie had a photographer and probably the Darien Times, and just trying to capture the year. But we'll be, extending our timeline into December 2020 and then capping it off there, even if we don't do the official celebration until later in 2021. So it'll be a picture of 2020, no matter what happens. And just the next steps are finalizing the timeline of when we're going to reach out to the schools and the community and things like that. But we're making progress, so.
Great. Caroline, we're also at the Historical Society, we're doing outreach and asking people to send pictures or videos to info@darienhistorical.org just to capture that for the history of the town. Yeah. And we've gotten some pictures, and so hopefully we'll be able to contribute a bunch to that as well for your consideration.
Yeah, that'd be great. We were thinking in terms of having people respond, just having it all, in like written form would be easier on, electronically, because then we can compile it, but we'll definitely want to make sure we have pictures capturing like all the big moments. So yeah, thank you.
So, Carolyn, thank you very much. You said every school, but actually it's every elementary school. And then for the middle schools and the high schools, it was every grade level would get to submit something.
Yeah.
So we're also working with Bruce Clark. I don't know, Lucy, do you know Bruce? Lucy? Do you know Bruce Clark?
Yeah. I'm answering student comments at the same time on Google Classroom.
Okay, so Lucy's a middle school teacher, history, social studies teacher, and Bruce is a high school. Bruce, he actually reached out to me because he did, for Bridgeport schools, he did a time capsule. So he's part of that. But Lucy and Sarah, if you, Sarah's doing all the education stuff and Lucy is the middle school, if you guys want to get involved, definitely we could use the help. So it's going to be an above ground time capsule, and we're offering it to the town, first of all, if they wanted to store it. If they decided they didn't want to or whatever, the Darien Historical Society said they would be glad to store it for 50 years. So that's something to think about, Susan and Jamie, if you guys want to have it, or if you wanted to have it at the Historical Society. Obviously, you don't have to display it all that time. You could bring it out once in a while for a display or whatever, and then in 50 years, open it up. So I think that's it about the time capsule. So we will, I guess, Jamie or Maggie, go out with a press release pretty soon telling everybody about the Weed Beach Festival and Anniversary Day.
Yeah.
Susan, is there any information about the banners or flags that are going up?
So I was told that the banners, the flags should be going up any day, because middle of May was what I was told. I don't know the exact locations of them all, but as soon as I hear anything more, I will update you. And there was an individual resident that wanted to possibly buy some flags for a neighborhood. So I did get all the information from the vendor, and I've passed that along to the resident. So I think we had kind of talked about that we didn't want to get involved in individual orders as a committee. But I guess if anyone is out there listening to this and they do want to purchase a flag or flags for their neighborhood, we have all that contact information.
Right, and I actually spoke to David as well. He gave me all the contact information since, we have that, and I didn't know where we were at with that, but I think that's great because I know there's a lot of people who want to buy the flags.
Okay, I have one actual salesperson that can handle the account in general, and I talked to her the other day, and so we have all that information.
Yeah, he gave me the same stuff. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Are we a question? I have a question for Sarah. Do we have any virtual way of selling all the merchandise that you have left?
Yeah, you want me to talk about Sarah?
Sorry?
I'm sorry, Sarah. You want me to talk about that, or you want to take it? You can take it if you want.
I would love to start selling this. I know that we've sort of been on hold. I have had certain calls from people saying, I know that you're selling it. So they've come and picked it up out of my mailbox so that there's social distancing. But it would be great to get it out there on social media. There is an email address. If somebody wants something, they can just email me and I will either drop it in their mailbox or they can come get it out of my mailbox. I hope that as things open up, the kids can eventually sit out in front of a grocery store and sell things with their masks on. But I definitely have everything, as you can see in the background. I've got the t-shirts and the hats, and I just think it would be really exciting to get this out there.
So,
but in terms of online, no. I mean, I'm not sure that we actually can create an online store for different tax reasons. there's, like I said, I have an email. And what I did when I went to the Senior Men's Association, when Jim invited me there, I actually did a nice display, and I have a picture of it, which is, you know, we've used it several times. It's really a great display showing everything. So we could be sending that picture around virtually saying, if you want it, here's the email address.
Oh.
But
I have
we
a
can't
question
be
for
doing-
Sarah.
We can't do, go ahead. I was just gonna say, we
my
can't do it at Palmer's?
You mean in store?
Outside.
I didn't hear you.
Outside of
Absolutely.
Palmer's. If we approach Cindy Dean, is that just not legal at this point? Well, when we open up?
I think as we open up, we'll be able to do that. And absolutely. I mean, the kids are very excited to get out there and do that. So Palmer's, Whole Foods, Stop and Shop, whichever ones. It's just a matter of when things open up.
I have a question.
You can get them at Barrett's. And Barrett's is doing curbside. You know, if you order books and stuff, you can go to Barrett's because they're doing curbside and they're also delivering books. They're actually they're doing a very good business, and they are selling the merchandise as well. You could buy a book and buy some
Feels
merchandise.
like people don't know
from
about it.
them.
And I think so many people are still going grocery shopping that once we get the ability to do that, we should. And the kids also have time on their hands.
Exactly.
I have
Yeah, Susan, you want to go on? Susan?
I have two thoughts. Sarah, could you make up a price sheet? And I have that photo from when you had your display at the challenge. So
at
I
Charter
could
Fest.
I could send out that photo and a price list if you have it in a Word document. I can send that out.
Great idea.
The other point that I have is that, you know, so many people are going to cashless transactions that I do think that there's a concern with children and exchanging cash in a public area. So it's just a thought. We certainly aren't ready to have them go out there right now anyway. But do you have a Square or any kind of transaction ability to do it with online payment?
No. And I actually, I think Al and we talked about this weeks ago, whether there was Venmo. I don't do anything with that personally, but what I found out was that in order to have Venmo, you have to have it attached to a bank account, which clearly can't be my bank account. I then spoke to my local banker and said, how do I do this? And she said, you'd have to open up a bank account. To me, it just seems a little bit complicated and not necessary. My thought was, if nobody wants to handle cash, that we provide envelopes and the individual can put their cash in the envelope and hand us the envelope, and we'll handle it later. We can Lysol them all down. I don't know. It was just have a box. And if somebody inserts their money in the box right in front of you or 6 feet away, there's got to be lots of different options for us. Checks, of course.
Yeah, check is a great option, I think.
Exactly. I mean, I just think that's the easiest, as well as cash. Again, you know, anything can be Lysoled.
Also, just to jump in here, when this came up a while ago, Al and I had talked about this with Sarah, and there were some emails, and because town hall is not technically open it's not open for the public to go into, it was kind of a little bit of a, if we weren't allowing people to go into town hall, we shouldn't be allowing people to purchase the items from us directly. And obviously, as things are opening up, we can certainly revisit that, whether it's a table outside of Palmer's. I think, you know, that the key has been that until we know what's going on more, until we know that Governor Lamont has said X, Y, or Z, certainly the first selectman in town can't do anything without his quote, approval of opening things up. So I think it's a very flexible, fluid situation, and I can certainly stay on top of that as far as anything to do with the town. And I know people are upset about the whole payment schedule. You know, I think we've all done the best we can as far as figuring out how we work with the constraints, whether it's the website or exchanging of cash. So no one's certainly trying to make this more difficult. It just,
I
you
know,
get
so,
government
so
involved.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just,
Sarah was like really stepped up to the plate. She said, "Al, I can do it curbside if they can call me or whatever, or I can do a delivery, have my kids or whatever delivered to their home." She was like a super volunteer, and that was right when the coronavirus was just breaking out, and the word was, "Don't leave your house, stay in your house." So I personally felt that I don't think the town should publicize this on social media at this point to
Exactly.
go out and do
Technically
this stuff on social media. That's not, the town says stay in your house, and now the town is saying to go out and purchase stuff for 2021.
Oh,
However,
no.
as things open up, I think that's something we could do. Jamie, I think I would have to have the town's approval to publicize this on social media or wherever, to do curbside pickup for 2021 merchandise.
yeah,
Well,
it's
at the-
similar to Jamie before can say, like, it's similar in my mind to selling beach passes. Like right now you go online, which I know we can't do for
Right.
other reasons, and then Parks and Rec will mail the beach passes to your home. And since Sarah we don't want to get involved with mailing, by putting her at, even if she's willing to go around to people's mailboxes, it's still personal contact, and that's really the biggest difference.
Absolutely. I know. I totally understand exactly where we're at now. I'm looking at, okay, when things open up, there's so many different options that we didn't think about before. Again, we could have a day where we have a social media blitz. Guess what? If you want your merchandise, it's going to be at Palmer's, Whole Foods, Stop and Shop. We're going to have a table in front of the town hall. We could have multiple places on various days sent out an email so that it's not one place they have to go to when the time is ready. And if we're pushing everything to 2021, I mean, as much as I would love to get this stuff out here, we're still going to need it for next year.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. The only item that we did vote on was the ornament for Christmas.
I was just going to ask you about that. Good.
I just want to make sure everyone is still okay with that. They are technically holding our order. They can produce it, but I just want to make sure that we're a go with it. I think it would be, personally, I think it just brings such good cheer for everybody, and it would be something that I think we should continue to do.
Absolutely. And in the March meeting or the February meeting, I can't remember which one, we did vote on appropriating money for that. So,
right. I just wanted to confirm one more time before I actually say, okay, let's go. Love the cat.
There's the cat. I love the cat.
Every Zoom meeting she's in.
I have a question. Does the
about
ornament say 2020 on it, or does it say 200th?
It says 200th. Actually.
That's good.
I'm going to check now. I'm confused. I believe it says Darien 200th. I will confirm and get back to you.
Can I ask a question about the sale of the all the merchandise? Isn't it going through Barrett Bookstore also? And is Barrett, when it sells at Barrett, are they running it through their own system, or are they taking a separate payment?
No. So actually, is Libby on the call? No. So Libby Stoll is the bookkeeper. And because she's the bookkeeper at Barrett, that's how we got our merchandise into Barrett. They are the only one currently that has the merchandise in the actual store. So anytime I have payments, cash, checks, or anything, they go to Libby, because her being the accountant, and she puts it into, I believe, the monuments and whatever accounts. So it's not really.
Oh, so if
I
buy a T-shirt at Barrett, the payment goes straight to Libby for the Bicentennial.
Correct.
It doesn't go through Barrett's payment system,
Not
and
at
then
all.
they make it. Okay.
No, it's a separate envelope, not related.
Got it.
Actually, I believe Sarah worked it out with the town's finance, that she has her own account number. There's an account number just for merchandise, and there's another account number for all our other finances.
I see.
So it works
Tax
out to
purposes.
that. So yeah, right. So you
Thank
buy
you
it at Barrett's, but
all you
it
do.
doesn't get involved in Barrett's finances at all.
It's sort of
Michelle,
sad. You see it in my background. And when I open up my garage, I've got 5 tubs worth of stuff. I just wish I could get it out
I'm gonna
there.
buy some more.
Michelle,
Concerned about it moving people. I feel like people, every time I wear this hat, people say something to me and I think it's gonna move.
Yeah.
I also want to underscore what Susan Mark said. I mean, it's technically illegal for us to be like trying to hawk the merchandise when we're
absolutely.
But I think that it's going to be something people are going to want to have. It's great merchandise. Sarah Kina, you've done an amazing job so far, and now we have a whole extra year to sell it. I don't think we should be too worried about that, given all the other things we may need to be going through in this call. So
I'm not really worried about selling it. Jim will tell you that when I went to the Senior Men's Association, I put up this neat little display and I sat there, and in a matter of what, not even 2 hours, I must have, I don't know, I sold $500 or $600 worth of stuff and I was completely out of hats. So I'm not worried about selling it. It's more of, I'm really excited to get it out there. And, you know, I'm not selling anything right now. I think I've sold 1 hat to a friend. All honesty, I sold my son a t-shirt. So yeah. Just excited to get it out.
We love the merchandise, Sarah. Great.
Yeah, the guys at the DMA.
I'd like to move on to Michelle. Michelle, you're on the phone, but you're on mute right now.
Yes, I'm here.
Michelle, do you want to talk about face masks a little bit?
Sure. So as part of the Human Services Planning Council that it's currently meeting on a weekly basis, there's been a new initiative, which is Darien Mask Brigade, to help the local businesses and organizations in town being matched up with residents who are making masks at home or procuring masks from people who are making masks at home. So there was an idea that some organizations or businesses might want to have some masks, and these are cloth masks, 2-ply cotton masks that can be washed and reused. And so there was a question to see if the Bicentennial Committee would like to procure some a stock of Darien 2020 or Darien 200 masks, so that people would be able to buy them almost at cost to be able to donate them to local businesses and organizations for their employees.
And the mask would have the logo on it, right?
Correct. So they'll be simple. And again, there's different places now that are making them, and some of them are going. It's an average, depending on the amount. It's an average of about between $4 and $6. So again, they can be sold at almost cost, but then those would be donated by local residents to local businesses or organizations.
Can I ask you a question? Did you already secure a company to do this? Because I actually looked into this thing, thinking that might be fun. We can talk at another time offline, but I did look into a company that does the same thing.
Yeah, there's been, I know of other organizations, not just in Darien, but in New Canaan and in other places that have been making stock. So whether it's a couple of hundred masks, and that's what the price level is like. But no, I haven't personally looked into a specific vendor. So I think the question was just whether the committee would be interested, given that the Bicentennial logo is really universal for the town. So rather than for me, donating masks that have another business logo, definitely the Darien is like the Blue Wave logo. It's more universally applicable to the town.
Turn down my go-to-meeting volume here. Oh,
what? Jim?
I have like to raise my hand on that.
Yeah,
we have a local chamber member and business who is, this is the only way that they can keep their employees right now, is to make masks and sell them. And I
Larry
think that they
Ayers,
would be
question.
really, really interested in
Join WebEx meeting. Is that on now?
I don't know what's echoing there with the WebEx meeting, but I would really like to see if we could ask them what their pricing would be, because it would be very helpful to their staying open.
Oh,
Great.
absolutely. Michelle and Michelle, are you okay with that? And Sarah?
Yeah. No, I think it's a
Sure.
great
Both
idea.
working
We
with
can
the
talk
human services?
offline.
I
Yeah,
have a
Okay.
question. I have a question. Is this a budget item, a new budget line item for us? Are we the
It would
pass?
be,
Are we gonna
yeah,
spend
it
money and
would
not
be a new,
collect money, or just be a pass through?
I think it would be a new budget item. We could put it kind of under the merchandise item. Right now, I've got $3,000 budgeted for the merchandise, and that's a rolling thing. You know, it's budgeted, but as Sarah said, like she says, as she sells merchandise, we get this stuff back. So what Michelle was, and Human Services was offering or proposing, was to use the logo on these masks. I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle, we would upfront the money initially, say $500 to buy 100 masks. Then people would buy those masks from us and donate it to a service. So it could be the EMS, it could be the police, it could be the fire department, it could be a restaurant. You know, the restaurants are really hurting and they need masks, and they're buying, I don't know if their employees are buying it themselves or their owners are buying it for them, but
Correct.
somebody in the town could, yeah. So you could
And-
even give it to restaurants or other people who are hurting. So it would be
Correct.
a rolling, it would be a line item, but it would be a rolling line item. We would get reimbursed for it, hopefully. There's $3,000 in there in merchandise. If at the end of the year or the end of next year, we end up not selling $3,000 and Sarah has $3,000 worth of inventory, then we've allotted for that. But yeah, Sarah's shaking her head. So I think I would put it under that $3,000, Lori. And then that's money that's out there that we can always just roll over and roll over and roll over and not exceed, and we have it budgeted. Does that make sense?
Well, I only bring that up because, I mean, we're all gonna have increased marketing costs as well, right? Because we're gonna need to do a whole nother townwide mailing next year and all that kind of stuff. And I don't have the budget in front of me, but I just want to make sure, you know, we're reluctant to go back out and try to get sponsors, because I think a lot of that money's dried up at this point. So I don't think you're going to get more money from sponsors. So the question is, we just got to manage be able to do what we need to do with the money that we have in hand. So I'll leave that up to the budget team, sub team.
Okay.
But, you know, we are going to have to put out another mailing, I would assume, next year, announcing the dates.
Absolutely.
So we got a budget
We
for
do.
all that stuff.
Right. I mean, that's a real good point, Lori. Yeah, we're not right now going out to solicit, because things are so much up in the air. We're not really going out to solicit things from sponsors now because things are so up in the air. Libby isn't on. She said, you know, she's working, so I don't think she could break free. But I can just right now give you a few numbers. These were presented last meeting in February, but I'll go over them again. So our estimate to raise is $57,000, $57,600. So far, we've raised from the town $15,000. We've raised from private donations $11,500, and $27,000 from sponsors. So our estimates to raise are $57,600. So far, we've raised $53,500. But that estimate does not include two sponsors that have signed up, and we haven't gotten their checks yet. And that's about $3,500 that we're still thinking I'm sure we'll get them. So that would put us just about right at our estimate. And it also includes the $3,000 that Sarah has, which is like a rolling budget. You know what I mean? Like I said, if she's left with $3,000 of inventory at the end of next year or whatever, then we'll just eat that. So I think we're right at our target for estimates, but you're absolutely right. Now that everything is moved over to next year, we really have to watch our budgets.
Do we make money?
Sorry?
Yes, we are. Yeah, Sarah, you want to answer that? Are we making money on your merchandise?
Yes. So everything is, yes, we are.
Okay. I mean, my thought is not to discount. I think that's a really good point that Lori brings up. I'm always overly optimistic, so you guys can just disregard this. But I feel that if things get a little bit more normal and the celebrations start to pick up in 2021, I think it's possible that we will have some outreach from local businesses that want to be involved, but let's not count on that. Also, I just wanted to point to everybody that Jamie Stevenson had sent a couple of things via the chat saying that as of May 20th, outdoor retail sales are allowed and that we'd be able to start selling the hats. So it's, if you click on the chat, then you can see her text.
Sorry, what did you say, Sarah? As of May 20th, what?
If you click on the little chat bubble, there are two messages from Jamie Stevenson saying that as of May 20th, retails will be opening and the governor is allowing outdoor retail sales in his most recent executive order. So speaking to the question about our merchandising. So
that's so exciting.
So as of May 20th, we can do curbside merchandise sale and delivery if Sarah still
outdoor.
is up for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to word this so that it's a little bit more positive, because I'm kind of thinking along with Lori and Sarah. I would almost have no problem if we want to order some masks and then sell them. But I kind of feel like if we order them and then ask people to buy them and then donate them, I'm kind of in the mindset right now that I'm hoping and praying that the unemployment numbers and small business numbers projections are so wrong, because I'm very fearful that the town of Darien, that the residents have been so generous and will continue to be generous, but I think more and more households are going to be affected by whatever is going on. So I'm not trying to be unkind and not help as much as we can, but I kind of feel like I don't think we're going to have more sponsors, because it's not that they won't want to help us, but I just think that economically, and I hope everything I'm saying comes out wrong. I hope everything I'm saying is not true, but I think we have to be concerned that if we're asking people to buy something and then donate it, some households are going to buy something because they need it themselves, and that's not being selfish. So I would love to be able to support this, but right now I kind of feel like we need to be more cautious of what's going on in the economic environment of the town. So if we were to say, let's purchase some, let's use some money and purchase some and then sell them to try and recoup the money. I mean, all the money that's been donated to us was donated with the intention of using it for the celebration of the town. Mm-hmm. And if we then veer it to say, well, we're helping others, which is a phenomenal thing, I think we're misrepresenting where the money is going. And I'm not saying anyone would be upset, but it just doesn't sit well with me. And someone will be able to articulate this better than I am right now.
Can I say something? I'm wondering if maybe instead of reselling or asking people to resell the masks, that maybe just as a, maybe we don't have the money for this, but first, I think that we can offer the logo officially to this organization that is making the masks. Maybe we can do that, but is it also possible that we can maybe purchase and give them out with like the sale of a t-shirt or something like that? I mean, maybe we're not in a position to do that with our budget, but I think at the very least, can we at least offer the logo for the masks?
Well, what if we actually have masks made to sell? Because let's face it, we are going to be wearing masks for a while, from what I understand. So, I love your dog.
Yeah,
the fact that
we got to your dog. Susan Mark.
So What I'm hearing is that, you know, it would be great to have masks with the logo, because then again, it just brings all of this out to the public, which is what it's all about. If somebody chooses to purchase them and donate, that's wonderful, but we can't expect people to do that. But personally, I'd love to buy a mask and have the logo on there. So we should make it available to anyone that wishes to buy them. What they do after they buy them is their doing.
Can I just ask,
I like that.
Michelle, maybe if Michelle could comment though, is there any other way besides that we can help bring on your organization to participate in this that doesn't involve reselling the?
I think exactly what Sarah, I think it was Sarah that just articulated it perfectly. All people were asking is, can we get the Bicentennial Committee to have some masks available so that people that would like to buy a mask with the logo can do that. So that's one thing. Now there's not an organization, it's just a group of Darien organizations and agencies, and Jamie Stevenson was also part of this from the beginning. And so it's just like a clearinghouse, like a matching website that it's being launched. And all it has is, oh, I would like to participate with my business or my organization, and I have a group of 5 employees or 15 or 25. So as an individual, then I can go in there, look up the list and say, I would love to adopt the sugar bowl that has 15 employees. And I'm gonna either make myself 15 fabric masks or buy 15 fabric masks from a local mask maker, whether it's an individual or an organization, or I can buy them through Amazon. And so what we were trying to do was any organization that would like to procure masks, and we're working with Soikati and we're working with others in town, it'll be a great opportunity for them to say, oh, look, we have masks available. You can buy them for yourself, your family, or to, as part of this matching project, to donate to the Sugar Bowl, or whichever group you decide to adopt. It's like adopt a business idea. So it is very grassroots. It's not having masks for resale. It's about merchandising for the Bicentennial if they would like to have masks available, because this project is coming up. So it's a good opportunity to sell those. But it's not, again, as a double business, where is the money going? It's not as, there's not more to it. It's just if the Bicentennial has masks, that'd be great to let people know so they can either make it themselves or get them from other places. Several people have asked me already, is the Bicentennial making masks? So I said I would ask and bring it up to the group.
Okay.
So as I had said, I did look into it. I just didn't bring any numbers to the table, but I'll send an email to the group afterwards and see if that's something that you all want to do. Because, you know, I agree. I've been scrounging for different masks. I'm worthless at sewing. So, you know, it would be really fun to have something, because right now I have a really boring white mask.
Right. I do agree with Mark, though. We need to be careful because the donations came in for the events. So, and I right now we're all scrambling for masks, but I feel like in a month there's going to be tons of masks because everybody is switching to making masks. Like you can get them at everything at Rosie's now. You can get them on Amazon. So I'm just.
Oh, no, absolutely. I won't do anything till it's.
That's at the next meeting before we commit. I mean, I love the idea, but financially, I think Susan and Lori are right that we should be cautious.
So Jamie also just put in another message now that I know how to do this, and it says, can the Bicentennial logo be provided to local mask makers who can make and resell masks with the logo on them? So what I interpret that as, can our committee give permission for local businesses to use the logo, and it will benefit? So Lori's shaking. I mean, it's just a question.
Well, I think we run into what happened before, where we can't let the sponsors have paid money to be able to have access to the logo and use the logo. We can't open it up to all businesses having access using the logo and putting their logo, you know, people having a mask with 2020 over here and rings over here. I'm just making up a name. I mean, I think that our sponsors have paid, it's turned out, you know, that they've paid money to be able to be a sponsor of 2020. And I just have to wear my hat. Not that I don't think it's a great idea. I just have to wear my hat of worrying about the sponsors.
Yeah.
I know.
There's no controls. There's no controls if you just have an open-ended access. And, you know, you don't know exactly how people are going to replicate things. I mean, it's not as easy as it sounds, because what would it be, an iron-on? Or, I mean, you'd have to have a pretty sophisticated sewing arrangement to be able to really replicate the logo accurately, like Sarah has done on all of her merchandise. And I think that that could end up sort of, it's not that I don't trust people, it's just that people may not realize how hard it is to actually accurately replicate something on a reverse side, you know, whether it was or whatever. I mean, I'm sure the ladies at So Kira or, you know, Rosie could probably find someone, but your average sewer, of which I am one, it's not as easy as it sounds. And
I have
and
an
then we
idea.
have a lot of not great stuff wandering around town too.
Yeah,
I have an idea. If we have someone make them, if we have someone make them, like we do the T-shirts or something, and then if somebody wants it for themselves, they could keep it for themselves. But if we could have like a wish list, like some company, like you're saying, like the Sugar Bowl, saying it would be nice if I could get 15 of them. If somebody else needs 10 of them or something like that, have the wish list, and then just like, let's say like a wedding registry, you know, type of thing, where once that, you know, that company gets their allotment, somebody else might want to donate to this company or that company. Do it like a wish list.
We can do that. I agree with everybody. I think we have to control our merchandise. I mean, if Sarah's willing to make masks or buy masks or whatever from whoever, Susan had a great idea about this company. Maybe Susan, you could share it with Sarah, whoever, whatever company it is, and then we sell it. We should be able to, if we do sell it as a profit, keep the profit. Or if we don't sell it as a profit, it's really our logo. I don't
It's all
agree
about
with just
making sure that we cover the cost.
Control the message. And, you know, we were very worried about somebody using it for merchandise for their profit. So I agree. I think we'll do the mask, we'll have the logo, and we can sell it. And if somebody wants to buy some and donate it, we can either have a list, like Susan said, that's kind of good to give it to your restaurant or whatever, but it'll go through us.
Could we,
you know,
get all this stuff figured out and then vote on it next time? Because I feel like we're
absolutely. Yes, let's do that.
I think that like there were so many. Kate brought up a really good point about like it could end up being more expensive, and you know Susan's point and Lori's point. I just think that financially and the complications of doing this, let's get some more. If Sarah finds someone great and Michelle that can do it, and it turns out great, but maybe we could get some scenarios and then really look at this more carefully before we make a decision.
Will do. I'll talk to Michelle, I'll talk to Susan, we'll do some research and have it all ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple sources that we could look into.
Okay, so Sarah's got the action to get with Michelle and Susan and come up with a plan, and we'll vote on it at the next meeting. It's been really productive. Lucy, are you in the middle of a forest? It looks like you're, my goodness, in an Elysian field there.
Well, also, when we
Enchanted Forest. I was very sorry I didn't think to change it to my American flag one for this meeting, but that's what I normally use. But I got a little tired of that, so I decided to be in an enchanted forest.
Lucy, I don't have anyone that's doing the e-schooling, but we thank the town employees. I think we also need to thank the teachers because it sounds like you guys are doing beyond
Yay.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. Has anybody heard anything whether this Saturday is the last time for our bell ringing that's scheduled on Saturday evening? Does anybody know if that's going to be continuing? I think it's kind of fun. I've been enjoying doing it every Saturday.
I
I
haven't heard.
haven't heard if it's going to be continued.
Jamie, my suggestion, keep it going.
Does anybody have anything else there before we adjourn? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Be well, everyone.
All those
You
in favor
too.
say aye.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
those-
guys.
Stay safe.
All those in favor say
Bye,
aye.
guys.
All those opposed say nay.
Bye.
Any abstentions?
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Jamie, you can
Thanks for all
turn
your
off
work.
the record
Thank you,
button.
Al.
Take care.
Thanks,
Jamie.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Jamie,
Yes.
did you get my, hi Sarah, bye Sarah. Did you get my note that I had a good conversation with Damien?